Okay, so this is Comm 101 quick tip on intros. So one of the many things we're covering this week is introductions to the speech. And most people, and I think I mentioned this in my weekly video, most people, when they're doing their intros, do something like, okay, today I want to tell you about, and then that's the whole intro. And the intro has a lot more things that need to be included in it. It serves a function that's very important to the speech, and we're going to cover those. So you should be able to see my screen, and that way you can kind of see what I usually show in my face-to-face class. Introductions are your chance to really get your audience's attention and get them interested in what it is you're about to tell them. And you want to use elements that draw them in. Stories is probably the biggest thing that we use to get people interested in what we have to say. But there's sometimes you can use amazing statistics. Sometimes you can. I've had students that started out singing a song. I've had students, one that did a speech on yoga and started out doing a yoga pose and then walked into why you would want to cover yoga. And so you want to make sure that in your introduction, you do more than just say, hi, I'm here today to tell you about this, because it's got to be more than that. So elements that are vital to your introduction in your speech, some kind of an element, whatever it may be, that grabs the audience's attention. If you think about commercials, and we'll actually talk about how commercials are kind of set up when we get to persuasion, there's always early on in the commercial some element that grabs your attention and relates it to the audience. And you want to have something in your speech like that. So let's say you're doing a speech on how to change a tire. And instead of just saying, hey, I'm here today to tell you how to change a tire, you could talk about, the other day I was driving down the road and I was in kind of a hurry, and so I was rushing, and all of a sudden I heard a boom, and my indicator went off on my dash, and I had a flat tire. And I pulled over on the side of the road, and I got out and looked, and sure enough, I had a shredded tire. And I realized how important it was that my father had taught me to change a tire when I was in high school. And you never know, you might find yourself in the same situation someday, and you need to know how to change a tire. And you may not be able to call, if you're a AAA member, like you may not be able to call AAA, you're outside of cell service somewhere. So now it's up to you. So do you know how to change a tire? That relates the topic directly to the audience. The people sitting in the audience are like, yeah, that could happen to me. I probably should know how to change a tire. And so you put something in your speech that does that. You also state the purpose. I'm here today to tell you about, and then whatever it is, the particular topic is you're going to tell us about, and you state what that is. You also establish your credibility. I can't stress this enough. It's listed in every speech rubric that we have from this point onward. You are going to see it. If you don't mention it in your speech, you're going to see me tag it, because I see it all the time from the students. They forget to say why somebody should listen to them. Because let's use my tire scenario. How do I know you know how to change a tire? And how do I know that you know the best way to change a tire? So you want to establish your credibility. I didn't know how, and my father taught me how. And he taught me by making me change the tire. And then he made me change his tire. And down the road, I've had to change a few along the way. So I've gotten pretty good at it. I have a good process. Now, that's establishing some credibility. Or, I work for AAA and I drive one of those trucks that you call to come help you when you have a tire problem. But, I can't always get to you fast enough. You may be in a hurry, or you may be outside of cell service. So I'm here today to tell you how I change a tire when I'm at work. I have credibility just because I've established that's what I do for my job. You always need to establish why the audience should believe you know what you're talking about. Then relate the subject to the audience. If you didn't do it in your attention gaining segment, explain to the audience what they're going to gain. It's kind of like you're giving them a gift. By listening to me speak today, you will now better understand, and then whatever it is you're going to talk about. And then the fifth one is preview the speech. I'm going to teach you how to change the tire in 4 simple steps, and those steps are step A, blah, blah, step B, blah, blah, step, and all the way through. So you preview the speech, and you'll see this listed in the rubric as well. And then at the end of the speech, you're also going to see, did you review your speech? So, and I'm going to say it now, and I think I said it in the weekly video too. You want to tell them what you're going to tell them. Then you want to tell them in the body, and then you want to tell them what you just told them. You want to use the repetition of 3 because we remember stuff better when we have things repeated to us multiple times. It's 3 or more, and it sort of locks it into the brain. So preview your speech, talk about it in the body of the speech, and then review the speech. And as we get further into the outlining, you're going to see it's preview the main points and the central idea, and then talk about that in the body, and then review the main points and the central idea in the conclusion. And by adding all of those elements, your speech is going to feel a lot more compelling to an audience. It's going to stick with them better, and you're going to have a lot more success. So that's what I wanted to talk about on this quick tip. Oh, and one last thing, your introduction time, the time you talk during your introduction should be about 15% of your total speech time. So if you're talking for, let's do round numbers to make the math easy for my brain. Let's say you're doing a 10-minute speech. Your introduction should be about 1.5 minutes. If you're doing a 5-minute speech, then your introduction is going to be about what? 90 seconds, right? So, or 1.5 minutes is 90 seconds, about 45 seconds. So you want to spend enough time that the audience understands what they're going to learn and why it's important to them and why you're somebody to pay attention to. So that's it. I'll see you in another quick tip. Bye.